In focus, the Democratic Republic of Congo has one of the worst transportation safety records in the world. Residents in the capital Kinshasa say their travel infrastructure needs a massive overhaul, and the government has not done enough to improve it. Paul Ndiho has more.
Beating the rush hour traffic is next to impossible when you live in Kinshasa. Commuters and motorists here often find themselves struggling to get to work and back as there are a few efficient and reliable transport services. Many Congolese use minibuses to get around, the most popular means of transport, but they are notorious for their reckless drivers picking up and dropping off passengers at illegal spots. Analysts say in this part of the world that traffic rules don't apply, and passengers wait in line for hours for a bus. Bayafuli Singo is a conductor.
You can see people are suffering because of transport. There are not enough buses for a big city like Kinshasa. We need the government's assistance to assist in the transport industry so that they can give us more buses to avoid difficulties so that there is a bus every 2 minutes for all the routes.
Despite its mineral wealth, decades of dictatorship and civil war have meant that most of DRC's transport infrastructure is in poor shape. The Central African nation's information minister says the government is trying to change that.
Le transport est réellement un des défis majeurs auxquels notre gouvernement se trouve confronté.
Transport is one of the major setbacks our government faces. We went from a small town of 350,000 people in the 1960s to a metropolis city of more than 10 million people.
In 2008, a Chinese state-owned railway firm signed a $9 billion deal to build thousands of kilometers of road and rail, but there is nothing to show for it in the DRC. Other such deals have been signed over the years to no avail. Martin Lukusa heads the Inter-Urban Transport Project in Kinshasa.
The real problem is that there is no political will. I've always said that if there is political will, things will get done. I'll give you a silly example. Boulevard June 30th, the road was built based on political will. If the same political will can also be applied when it comes to the railway system and the sea transport, I can tell you that it's not necessarily a problem of money.
A number of airline crashes in recent years in the Congo has also saddled it with one of the worst air safety records in the world. Where rail and road links through the country are few, air and water transport are usually the only viable options for long-distance journeys. Travel by Congo's vast waterways are also problematic. Boats are in poor condition, poorly piloted, and may be overcrowded, which results in hundreds of drowning deaths each year.
The river is full of inexperienced boat drivers and mechanics. That is why there are many accidents, because most of them are not necessarily professional mechanics or boat drivers.
But most travelers choose to ignore the statistics. Trader Francine Temple says she depends on water transport.
Then we will be scared to board. But otherwise, if the boat is in a good shape, then we will have no fear boarding it.
In May this year, China and the World Bank launched a $600 million plan with Congo to revamp nearly 700 kilometers of rail in southern and central provinces, in the heart of Congo's copper mining sector. The Congolese government says it has so far spent more than $500 million on 8 transportation projects and is seeking $400 million more before the end of the year. Paul Ndiho, VOA News.